Good morning. I'm Marcia Smith, your worship associate today. I welcome you all to the Unitarian Universalist congregation of Venice. We're a friendly group, gathered to support each other in the search for love and meaning in this beautiful and challenging world. Whoever you are, wherever you are welcome here. Do we have any visitors this morning who'd maybe like to raise their hand and introduce themselves? We'll bring you a microphone. I don't see any hands. Oops, sorry, I can't see. Oh, well, I'm going to introduce you. You'll get your moment. Sam, would you like to introduce yourself and say where you're from?
Good morning, I'm Sam Moore. I am Marcia's brother-in-law, and I am here visiting from New York City. Thank you so much.
And please, Sam, please stop at the visitors table and fill out a card, yes. We do have a few announcements. I just want to point out, as we know that our 25th anniversary celebration is coming up very soon. We've produced a beautiful poster that is on the lanai that you can refer to, and soon we hope to have updates on the website, and it will be posted on Facebook as well. The Ministerial Search Committee needs you. Surprise, surprise. Please sign up on the lanai for cottage meetings and for the Beyond Categorical Thinking workshop on Friday, October 27th. We have some returning members of the search committee. If you could please stand up. Steve and Judith will be available for you. Ask questions, please. Steve is heading up the cottage meetings.
Can I just say what days we know on?
Please.
We've got several times reserved in Waters Hall this coming Wednesday and Friday at 10 in the morning, and also next week. We'll have sign-up sheets. Judith and I will be out on the lanai, and many of you have already signed up and will be contacting you, but again, think about Wednesday or Friday, this week, next week, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve. We are now entering a sacred space. Please silence your electronics as the service begins with the prelude. I've chosen some of my texts today from my most loved literature, the lyrics of songwriters. I light the chalice today with words from Calling All Angels by Canadian songwriter Jane Siberry. Calling all angels, walk me through this world. Don't leave me alone. Calling all angels, we're trying, we're hoping, but we're not sure how this goes. Now I'd like to introduce my sister, Alison, the Reverend Alison L. Moore. Alison's creativity and courage have carried her through raising 3 amazing children, leaving our Church of Origin to pursue divinity school and ordination, and publishing a novel. After several pastoral jobs, Alison now facilitates spiritual transformation through clutter-clearing. She finds this work deeply satisfying and rewarding and refreshingly free of church politics. Alison.
Thank you, Marcia. Hi, everybody. It's great to be here. I worship when I go to church in Canada in a UU congregation. So greetings from the Grand River Unitarian congregation in Kitchener. Funny story about them. Kitchener and Waterloo are 2 little towns that grew big and mushed together. And they used to be the first Unitarian congregation of Waterloo. And then they bought a house in Kitchener. Not a house of worship. Moved down there, which would have made their acronym the First Unitarian Congregation of Kitchener. Does anyone see a problem with those initials? The minister at the time joked, they said they should put the other U at the end and be that congregation. But they changed their name to the Grand River Congregation because the Grand River runs through both of those municipalities. So I have a great deep fondness and familiarity for Unitarians, and at this period in my life I wish I had trained to be a Unitarian minister because of the tremendous resources and wisdom available in that training. I am so happy to be here. I am having a great visit with my sister-in-law Barb and Marcia and my husband Sam. And Sam wanted to say, please, when you notice him there, don't run screaming. He really doesn't harm very much. So I'd like you to please take a moment now and say hello to your neighbors. Greet the people around you. Remind each other that we are all in this together. Sit back again.
Hope you're all sufficiently greeted. Please rise in body or spirit as you are able to sing our gathering hymn, Gather the Spirit, number 347.
Thank you.
please raise your hand. If you are, oh, thank you. Yes, all right. In spirit as well as in body. If you are younger than 17, there we go. He's older than 17. That's remarkable. All right. Hello, hello. I was told not to bring a children's story, which was lovely, the story I was going to bring. But I will just give you a summary of what I will be talking to the adults about. And I'm going to be talking to the adults about the layers within ourselves. So when you look at your friend or your sibling, you see what they say, what they do, and what facial expressions and body manners they express, right? But you don't actually know what's going on inside. We often guess. We play a big guessing game with each other, thinking we know what's going on inside someone else's mind and heart. And in a lot of news, you will hear different pundits stating authoritatively that they know what someone was thinking, feeling, intending. But that's actually nothing you can know for sure. You might guess accurately, but you might be wrong. Raise your hand if anyone has ever told you they know what you're thinking and feeling, and it was wrong. That doesn't feel very good, does it? No, that's actually a boundary crossing. When someone else tells you with authority that they know what's going on inside you, whether they're right or not, it's actually a boundary crossing, and that's why it feels terrible. So this was something I learned in my theological training and my psychological training, was to keep our assessments of others limited to their words, their actions, their facial expressions. You can say, it seems like you might be feeling. The optics are that your intentions were, please clarify. But the minute you start saying, I know you meant, I know you felt, you're actually crossing a boundary. And for most of us, this happens on a regular basis. So now you know when that happens and you feel terrible, there's a good reason you feel terrible. And it's just that our culture has not been taught this. So you get to own all your thoughts and feelings. And they are yours alone. And they are sacred. Also inside you are fears, which people may or may not know unless you say, I'm afraid of spiders. Or I'm afraid of hearing that story. I'm afraid if my parents fight. There's so many different things that can make you afraid. They are down inside too. And you know what those fears are telling you? They're telling you what you really, really want. And usually what you really want is to feel safe, to feel loved, to feel like you belong and are valued, to feel like you have a reason for being, that your art is a contribution, your words are a contribution, your sports playing or any number of things that come from your heart and your love is valued. And the truth is that should be true for everyone here. In fact, it is true. We just don't necessarily get told that by the people around us. Yeah, and so you can remind yourself that if someone's putting you down, they're making a mistake, and they're probably feeling insecure, and they need to feel better than. So they feel better than by putting you down. Ha, now I'm better than you. That's about their own insecurity. And if you find you're needing to put someone else down, you might want to look inside yourself and decide what part of you is feeling intimidated or scared or nervous or less than around them that you need to put them down. Because I believe, foundationally, everyone in this room believes we all belong equally. We all deserve equally. There aren't better people and worse people. Oh, we play that game. I play that game. Just about everybody in a certain political party at this point in my life. It's hard to remember that they are equal in value to me because I'm mad at things they are saying and doing. So, what I want you to remember is everything you think and feel is true and belongs to you, and you get to have it no matter what people around you are saying. And if someone's putting you down, what can you do inside yourself? Can anyone answer that? Yes?
Put yourself up above them inside your mind.
Yeah. Do you want to put yourself above them?
No,
Equal. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, lift yourself up. That's exactly right. Because you are equal, no matter what they say. And it's really tempting to put yourself above. I tell you, you're just gonna. So the work of being human is to remember to be equal. Okay? Thank you so much. Thanks for listening. I think I might have been interesting enough. Okay, and now we'll sing the children out with the Reeb Children's Benediction.
Part of being a congregation is our mutual financial support to keep going forward. Since giving should always happen with a smile, I offer this little story. Perhaps you've heard it before. The children in a UU church school were drawing pictures. The teacher asked one, "What are you drawing a picture of?" "I'm drawing a picture of God," was the reply. "But nobody knows what God looks like," objected the teacher. "They will," said the child, "in a minute." The offering will now be gratefully received. Thank you for these gifts given and for everything you contribute to the light and life of this community. A church is not a building, but the people who fill it. As a community of human hands and human hearts, we come together to share our laughter and our tears. We are entering a time of sharing our joys and concerns. If you have something to share, please raise your hand and someone will bring you a microphone, and we will light a candle to kindle the flame you carry inside you. Also, you're welcome at any time to light a candle yourself, and please remember to share with permission.
Good morning. I'm Eileen Leepley. I have a message from Mo Morrison, a former board member and wonderful friend and excellent human being. Last Sunday, she was completing a 10-mile bike ride, and she was fairly close to her house, and she crashed her bike. She broke her pelvis and her left wrist. So, as hard as it is to believe, Mo is having to lay low for the next 3 weeks or so, but I have a feeling we might see her in a couple of weeks here anyway. But her neighbors are wonderful people, and they're taking good care of her down an Island Walk. I know Jean lives there too. And so cards would be great, phone calls. She's doing wonderful. She just can't zoom around like she usually does. And one other quick message. Thank you to everybody who has been sending goodies to the refreshment table. And thank you especially to Jean Barlow, who has been doing such a wonderful job organizing that. We have so many goodies that we're going to ask that people not bring them in for a couple of weeks. Believe it or not, we have a lot of goodies. So maybe the first of every month would be a good time to bring some in, but more on that later. Okay, and also one more thing, I guess. Pauline, Adam, and I have the sign-up sheets for the November 5th luncheon at Venezia Hotel, $25 a person. You can sign up today, next Sunday. There's also a donation button that's going to be on the website. And I'm done. Thanks.
This is a sorrow. I'm saddened to report that Adrian Dorfman, who was a longtime member here and a member of our spiritual fellowship group, has passed away Monday after a very long decline, but she had her mind, so that was good. And she passed away peacefully, and she was a lovely lady.
We light one more candle for all those joys and concerns that we carry within us but haven't shared this morning. May the light of our community shine on the broken places of the world. May the love of this community hold all who need love and concern. May we never look away when we are needed. May those who are grieving be comforted. May those who are tired find rest. May the broken places be healed. And may those who are filled with joy and laughter be abundant. Our first reading this morning is from the song Soon, Love Soon by Vienna Teng. Soon, love soon, there'll be a fire burning in the temple of our peace. Soon, love soon, there'll be a soaring voice for our silent pleas. Soon, love, soon, we will hold our broken circle and begin to pray. We will find a black and white in the gray, and we will be as one God, and we will be as one people. Soon, love, soon, there will be an evolution of the human soul. Soon, love, soon, we will know that to be apart is to be truly whole. Soon, love, soon, we will know the pattern of centuries rise and fall. We will know that the fate of one is the fate of all, and we will be as one God, and we will be as one people. For our meditation moment this morning, we will remain seated and sing Spirit of Life, followed by a minute of silence. Number 123, Spirit of Life, please remain seated. Our second reading is from Starhawk. We are all longing to go home to some place we have never been, a place half remembered and half envisioned we can only catch glimpses of from time to time. Community. Somewhere there are people to whom we can speak with passion without having the words catch in our throats. Somewhere a circle of hands will open to receive us. Eyes will light up as we enter. Voices will celebrate with us when we come into our own power. Community means strength that joins our strength to do the work that needs to be done. Arms to hold us when we falter, a circle of healing, a circle of friends, somewhere where we can be free. Please rise in body or spirit and join in singing number 318, We Would Be One.
You may be seated. When I was talking to Marcia about this sermon, she said, I don't think we've ever had a sermon quite like this before. We'll see. Hopefully it feeds you. So I begin by telling you that I am Swedenborgian. Emanuel Swedenborg was an 18th century mystic, inventor, scientist, philosopher, and theologian who wrote a bunch of theological texts in his day. The group that raised me wanted to take everything he said as the Word of God, literally, while he teaches not to take the Bible literally. They just found a different thing to take literally and try to enforce in a rulesy way. So by the time I was in my mid-40s, I was ready to leave that group, having lost a great deal of faith in the ability for the leaders to lead towards what seemed like genuine Christian values because they were too busy enforcing rules. So I left to join the liberal Swedenborgians, and they ordained women, and through them I found my ordination and my early work as a minister. One of the things I love about Swedenborgian teachings is that everything is about the inner life, not the outward. That may not be how Swedenborgians live, but it is absolutely throughout his teachings. Look deeper. Look deeper in spiritual teachings. Look deeper in yourself. Look deeper in each other. You're closer to the truth and the love that way. So I'm going to begin, though, by quoting Aristotle. Knowing yourself is the beginning of wisdom. I would add that truly knowing yourself is the path to serenity and ease. It is the path to navigating relationships, even with those with whom we struggle the most to have happy relationships. When you get in touch with your deepest self, you find a deep grounding and a deep perspective. And within this deepest self lies your connection to everything, your belonging within everything, and your best path to creating a better world. Lao Tzu said, "At the center of your being, you have the answer. You know who you are, and you know what you want." Jill Bolte Taylor, famous author and TED speaker, said, she described how she experienced her most inward place as, "I am the life force power of the universe. I am the life force power of the 50 trillion beautiful molecular geniuses that make up my form, at one with all that is." Doesn't that sound amazing and desirable? This core experience is available to everyone, but it takes work to find this inner place, and even more work to be able to return to this place at will. It takes hard work, but this hard work is easier and simpler than trying to change the mind of someone else who is invested in maintaining a firmly held, even crazy belief. Much easier. So here is what I want to teach you today. We can all find our deepest core of wisdom and perspective. In that place, we each find peace, purpose, and connection to everything that is. It takes practice to find that place. It can be as easy and as difficult as finding Narnia. I will show you one path to finding it, though there are many paths. I'm going to use Virginia Satir's iceberg model to illustrate one way to delve deeper toward finding your deep inner core. Virginia Satir's iceberg should be on the back of your pew bulletins. Virginia Satir herself pioneered family therapy. Her outlook is compassionate and holistic. Her iceberg practice in particular teaches us to know ourselves better. It minimizes anxiety, and it helps people get to the core of their longing and purpose. At some point in the service, I will be asking for a volunteer to walk through the iceberg process with me. I would like each one of you to consider whether you might be that volunteer. Please know that the process will invite all of us to look deeply within ourselves, and none of the volunteers' content will be revealed unless they choose it. Their content, what they're worried about, what they're thinking about and feeling, will remain completely private while inviting all of us to explore and feel within our own selves. So let's look at Virginia Satir's iceberg. Satir's theory illustrates that it is only the most external part of oneself that is visible to the world. That part consists of our words, our expressions, and our behaviors. This means that the bulk of our true selves lie beyond what others can see, illustrated by the waterline on the iceberg. Consider that most of the messiness of human relationships comes from trying to read underneath other people's words, actions, and expressions. We often decide we know these things, assume we are correct, and then act on our assumption as if it is the truth. But this series of actions most often lead to a lot of misunderstandings and disagreements. The dangers of assuming we know what someone else is thinking or feeling and then acting as if we know is a whole sermon unto itself. Today, we are considering a far better use of our energies, learning to look within ourselves and understanding ourselves. Let's explore our own minds to find answers. So look at the iceberg again. In Satir's theory, we see a metaphoric iceberg. With a real iceberg, 90% of it lies beneath the water. What we see is a tiny fraction. Virginia Satir uses this image to illustrate how much of each person lies out of sight. Above the waterline are only the most external manifestations of who we are: our words, our facial expressions, our actions. Everything that lies underneath the waterline is closer to who we truly are. The deeper we swim, the more accurate will be our self-understanding. Our inner self is knowable and navigable with practice. But at first, trying to see down through these layers will seem like trying to read an ultrasound without any training. At first, we must train with a teacher or a guide. Any decent Satir-trained therapist can help with this effort. Any decent therapist at all should have the tools to help you make this journey. And if you persist in practice, you will eventually navigate your inner deep waters with ease all by yourself. So looking again at the iceberg, we can see that there are even deepers of our inner life below the waterline, below our words, actions, and expressions. For example, on the outside, you might see someone smiling at a friend's wedding ceremony. The next most shallow inner layer found under the waterline is our feelings. She might be thinking, beneath my smile, I actually feel jealous that my friend is getting married. And looking below her feelings, we might discern her judgments about her feelings. I feel bad for feeling jealous. But let's swim deeper to the next layer down, which is assumptions. Assumptions are things that we just believe are true without actually ever examining them deeply. I assume that feeling jealous of my friend makes me a bad person. This might pop her back into her feelings, which invites a different path down, but let's persist on this path. What lies beneath those assumptions? Underneath, we find deep expectations of life. Good people don't feel jealous of their friends. Also, I was supposed to have my own precious partner by now. I must be doing something wrong if I have not found my someone yet. But this place of deep expectations is a time to stop, and re-examine and maybe make some decisions. It is important to examine our expectations at this point. Do these expectations make sense? Are they serving me? Does it make sense that good people never feel jealous? Does it serve me to believe that the people who are doing everything right are the only ones who find loving partners the first? Would I be better served to revise my expectations on these things? Sometimes our early cemented beliefs come from childhood dreams and have never been revived since by any more sophisticated an understanding of how life goes. Often, if we can loosen up or crack apart these primitive expectations, we can allow ourselves to consider what the longings are that lie underneath all our assumptions and expectations. More than anything, I just want a loving partner. I want a life companion. I don't want to feel so alone anymore. That is a deep longing. It is innocent and pure. It has no intention of harm. It's just a very common human longing. Virginia Satir said that the most universal longings she has discovered are the desire to be loved intimately and to return that love in a special pairing or group, to recognize our equal value in community, and to feel deep belonging and purpose within our community. We desire love, belonging, worth, purpose, and caring community. These are true for everyone. Psalm 84, section 2 reads, "My soul longs, yea, even faints for the courts of the Lord. My heart and my flesh cry out for the living God." We long for belonging, safety, purpose, and meaning with such intensity that it can feel as if our very flesh is crying out for them. Finally, we look at the deepest layer of our being. Within our longing, beneath our first and deepest yearnings, shines our core self. Satir called this place the I Am. It is timeless. To me, this echoes the name of the divine provided to Moses at the burning bush. I am. I am. When we relax into this deepest layer, we feel our worth and belonging. We feel great peace and often a perspective beyond time and space where all is well. All manner of things are well. Many things begin to make sense and become clear. It is impossible to remain in this deep clarity. Real life gets in the way. But we can bring some of it with us as we swim back up to the surface where we spend most of our time. And each new trip inward makes our connection to that deep place last longer, and the perspectives found there remain clearer in our minds for a few minutes more. I have witnessed someone undergoing this process, and I've also facilitated it. It is a powerful and sacred effort. So, at this point, I am looking for a volunteer to walk through this process with my guidance, and you will be completely safe. Is anybody willing? Thank you. Thank you. You will be really deeply safe. Are you able to stand and walk? Could you come up here to the ramp. I'm laying down on the floor the layers of the iceberg. If you could come to the foot of the ramp and just remain there. And at any point, if this stops working for you, you say so. You take care of yourself. All right? So this is the goal. I just need my cheat sheet. Hello, I'm Allison. Hi, Linda. You are brave and amazing. Everybody already knows that. So I'm going to have you come on top of this blue card which says, the problem. And I want you to think about something in your life that is troubling you. Don't tell us what it is. Just get into the feelings about that problem. And let us know when you're there.
Too many.
Too many feelings? Can you pick out one or two? You don't have to tell us what they are, but just be in those feelings. Okay, thank you. Would you move up to the card that says feelings? All right, so you are feeling those feelings. Usually, we have some judgment or narrative about those feelings. Do you have a judgment or a narrative inside yourself about those feelings? Is there any part of that that you feel safe revealing to us? Like, I'm mad at myself, or I shouldn't feel this way, or I shouldn't have to feel this way. And it's okay if you say nothing. It really is. Because we're all doing our own work, right? Everyone here has thought of their own problem and brought themselves into their own feelings, and are now examining the judgments they have about those feelings.
Yeah, I'm angry with the way I feel about the government.
You're angry with the way you feel. Yeah. Those are
Because
legitimate.
It
Yeah.
goes against our first principle.
Yeah. All right, so come into the judgments. Okay, judgments. So feel that anger and feel that judgment. And you're judging the state of the world, let's say, right now. And the injustice of it, it sounds like. Yeah. Okay. So let's move from those judgments into your assumptions. What assumption, perfectly legitimate, is the foundation for that anger and judgment? The world should be better. The government should be better.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. There should be justice. It shouldn't be like this. That feel right? Yeah. And in other times I've done it, it's sometimes it's an outward and sometimes it's an inward judgment. So you be with whatever's going on inside you. You might be judging yourself for something, or you might be judging the world for something, okay? So, come over here to expectations. Sometimes we move back and forth for a while before we get this level, but we're going really fast, which is good if you want to get out of here. So, underneath your assumptions are your expectations of how reality should be and how you should be, okay? Are they up to date and helpful? The world should be better than this. Does that serve you?
Well, it makes me want to act.
That's good. Yeah. Gives you purpose and drive. Yeah. But there's anger still. Yeah. Anger is the fuel. Okay. And is there any way you might work with those expectations of life that might bring you more ease? And if there isn't, that's okay.
Well, the only thing I can think of right now is voting, making sure other people vote.
Which is an action you can take.
Right.
So the expectation that life should be different than it is the expectation we're looking at. Does that need any revision? What do you think?
Thinking that I could do more.
Okay. Okay. So there's a strong attachment to wanting to change what is. Okay. So I'm going to ask you to try on the concept that maybe the world is just the way it is. What does that do to you? I see a big smile.
Well, it just makes me feel like, well, you can't do anything about it. It is what it is.
Okay. Is that the only conclusion?
So far.
So far. Okay, that's totally legitimate and fair, and I am sure there are people resonating with you in the same place as you. All right. So let's move along to longings or feelings, or yearnings, desires. So underneath that expectation is a desire that the world
Is a better place.
is a better place. Yeah. Why? There's more longings there. That's not a question or a needing to change. It's just because if the world is a better place, then
We can all be on that equal par.
equal par. So equality, a longing for equality. Yeah? Does anybody else here have a longing for equality? A lot of women. Okay. So the thing that's driving these expectations is a longing that the world be more fair and just place. Very good. Okay, come into the I am. And sink all the way down, even below the longing, to your innocent core that wishes the world was better, that knows it can be better, and that knows that you are completely worthy of love and belonging. Can you feel that? Do you feel time and space dropping away at all when you're there?
Not really.
Okay. Okay, so you're partly there. Yeah. Let's see if I can help you go a little deeper. This is tricky. So there's an attachment to the world having to change now, which is a legitimate thing to long for. Yeah. In a space where there is no time, where there is the terrible world and the perfect world all in one place, where it has already been fixed in a certain way of looking at it. Maybe drop yourself into the imagining that the world is better. Tell me how that feels. Into the big belief that, it's all better now.
I'm getting there.
Okay, fair enough. And how does it feel?
That with work, we can do it,
Yeah, yeah,
but it's not a simple fix.
no. Those are stories you're telling yourself about getting this fixed. Imagine it is fixed. Can you make believe for 2 minutes that it is fixed? Be there. What does that do to your nervous system?
I can,
Big smile. Big, bright smile. How does that feel?
good.
Good. Okay. That's the place I'm trying to help us all get. It may seem ineffective or irrelevant or in some way powerless to fix the things that are worrying us. But actually spending time in this completely stress-free, loving, open-hearted place can offer us perspective that renews our nervous system and renews our insights into how to get there, because it is a long, hard path. And it also offers us a kind of serenity that can help us be more comfortable in the now with the problems that are. Does this make sense to you? Yeah? Does anybody else need clarification? Let's give a big round of applause and gratitude to Linda. Thank you. You can return if you like. Thank you, Linda. It's always a little risky. I'm not quite done. Always a little risky to try to do that. Thank you again, Linda. But it worked. Again, I did it with Marcia yesterday, and she was ready to do it again in case no one was brave enough. But Linda was our hero. So I'm just in conclusion. I wanted to ask if there's any insights or questions having witnessed the process once. We're all good? Or we're all not talkers? We're not extroverts? Okay. I'm seeing a this, like wrap it up already. To the inexperienced soul, deep self-reflection and exploration can be as unnerving as the invitation to go scuba diving when you can barely swim. That's why we have therapists. That's why we have psychological scuba divers to help us navigate our deeper layers. I say again, the 5 things I said at the beginning. The deepest place of wisdom and perspective lie within you. In that place, there is peace, purpose, and connection to everything that is. It takes practice to find that place. It can be as easy and as difficult to find as Narnia. I hope you get that reference. I have shown you now one path to finding it, but know there are many paths. With practice, each one of us can become able to swim comfortably within our own inner thoughts, feelings, judgments, assumptions, fears, and longings, and able to find increasing clarity of vision and understanding. Remember that the better you know yourself, the more compassionate you will become with others and yourself. 2 more things. The answers you seek lie within you. They are not the answers you may expect. They are the answers that will serve you best. Finding and visiting this place of peace provides the fastest and most sure path to serenity. As Rumi tells us, you have no need to travel anywhere. Journey within yourself. Enter a mine of rubies and bathe in the splendor of your own light. Amen.
As we extinguish the chalice, may we take this circle of community ever wider, tender with our fears, and sure of the renewing and forgiving power of love. Please rise in body or spirit and join in singing number 95, There is More Love Somewhere.
Blessing and peace on every heart in this room. Courage and strength to every searching or sorrowing soul. Discovery and joy to all those journeying to greater inner peace and clarity for the sake of our struggling world. Amen.